Hey guys, I am Ibigandscary. I'm bringing you another StarCraft 2 replay, this time featuring in the bottom right hand side wArSF. He is our purple Terran, and his opponent on the top left is from Team Dairy Todes. He is our red Zerg. Both players are in Masters. This is game 3 featuring these two individuals, and this is game 2 on Red City. I am sick. I don't know what happened. It's the middle of summer. I should not have a cold, but I do. I have a headache. I have like a runny nose, and I feel terrible. I don't know how this happens. Like, I was running yesterday, I was feeling fine. I believe I was skipping and smelling flowers. Maybe that's what did it. Those damn flowers. Regardless, I feel terrible, and so I apologize if you guys get any nasty, juicy noises from me, or if my nose, my voice sounds nasally, just because I have a hard time breathing through my nose right now, so I have to pause every now and then to breathe actually through my mouth, and that is weird. It definitely feels weird. So yeah, sorry about that. But this is game 2, and we're still on Red City, which means that we're going to get to see a unique opportunity for meta establishment. I mean, wARS was feeling good last game. He was doing a great job. He had a really nice build, very traditional, with that marine ball accompanied by some widow mines, and he was doing a great job keeping Todes contained. But Todes eventually got his 4th up, eventually got that extra gas revenue, stabilized with those Mutalisks, barely held off push after push from wARS, and finally got that Greater Spire out there, finally got out those Broodlords, and once he had that, that was all she wrote. Those Broodlords did a number on wArSF, especially when accompanied by those Infestors. And once he got to that tier 3 units, the game snowballed in Todes' favor. I don't know if that means that wARS is going to be even more aggressive this time around, or if he's going to invest a little bit more into his anti-air. I don't know. I think the onus is on wARS. I think if Todes can manage to do what he did last game, he can totally win this again. So wARS is going to have to change something rather than just play what he played last time normally. And I think this is the first step of that. He's getting that refinery just a little bit earlier, got the Reaper out this time rather than a single Marine like last time, making it so he can scout much faster, see exactly what's going on, because Todes' current playstyle is very greedy. He gets that hatchery immediately before the spawning pool. Double Evo chamber, Spire with Lair. Very, very greedy. Very greedy. And open to counter aggression from wArSF, and that's what we saw in the last game. So does this mean that wARS, since he's getting that Reaper out there, is going to be able to find Todes' base much faster, see what sort of saturation he's dealing with, see that it's not on 3 bases yet, see the gas income, and then see that he's got an opening, see that he has the opportunity to get in there and actually brutalize Todes' base. Throwing down the hatchery, no add-on just yet from the barracks, but it looks like he's throwing out a second Reaper. Keep an eye out on that barracks to see if it is going to be throwing down an add-on. Sending the Reaper in an opposite direction, very good play here. Checking the top right and bottom left, and eventually the top left, which is where Todes actually is. Double Queens, probably going to work his way up to 4 Queen. 4 Queen opening is what Todes has done, I believe, in all 3 of the games so far. Very defensive build, making it so they can actually deal with the Reaper and Hellion harass to come. Looks like that Queen's going to have no issues poking away that Reaper. Zerglings positioning themselves up on the high ground. A good play there. Make it so that the Reaper can't hop up without immediately being discovered, not only by the Overlord, but also by the Zerglings there. But with 2 Reapers now out on the field, it doesn't look like those Zerglings are going to be able to hold their own against that Reaper. But when accompanied by a Queen, maybe they can push that back. That is exactly what happens. No creep spread to speak of, so that Queen is very much away from the hive right now, having to turn around and waddle back home. It looks like the Reapers are going to be pushing forward. Will they be able to take down one drone? They do. They take down a single one so far, but oh, got to be careful. Another drone goes down, but then both Reapers fall immediately thereafter. So it looks like an even break. 2 workers killed for 2 Reapers, a little bit in the favor of Todes, but not by much, because you got to remember that those drones make their own money. Here comes the 3rd Queen, probably a 4th one on the way. 4th one is going to be popping out at the natural in just a couple of seconds, I assume. Yeah, it was at the natural. And they're going to be going to town on that creep spread. Weird positioning for that 3rd for Todes. Really weird positioning. This is traditionally the 3rd, because this one's very much more exposed. Huge ramp that leads down into the common ground, making it so that the enemy's army can march pretty much right up to your front door. Over on the 3rd, it's much closer by air, a little bit closer by ground, I assume. I don't know. I do not understand the thought process behind that for Todes getting that. It's not the biggest deal in the world. just because those Hellions will be able to harass your third no matter where you put it, and maybe if you're putting it in the weird location, they don't think about going there. Maybe he's trying to trick Wars into thinking that he's only on a 2-base economy. Speaking of 2-base economy, Wars is up on 2 bases right now, saturating that, moving down his SCVs with his third orbital command out. The Hellions are very much afield, very much ready to push in there and actually start doing some damage. But with the metabolic boost done, it looks like those Zerglings are going to be discovering those Hellions and also trying for a run by, maybe trying to make motions like they want to run into that natural. But with the bunker being constructed and 3 Marines back at home, probably not going to be able to do just too much. Both players are progressing down their traditional path. Double Evo chambers completed with the 1-1 and Lair on the way. Last time we saw a Spire being thrown up pretty much immediately after those Evo chambers were done. Todes is currently delaying that for a time being. 1-1 also started with stem pack underway, so I think Wars is going to be trying for that 12-minute timing attack that is very traditional, taking his third at the same time. A little bit ballsy there, but adding on the infrastructure, making it so that he can actually do that timing attack. Both players have their armies rather aggressively positioned, one within creep, one within a stone's throw away from the third. It looks like that pesky Zergling is going to get cleaned up by a ballsy Marine, so that that third can actually be taken. Widow Mines also coming out of field. Remember, we saw 2 Widow Mines come out last time, but they got immediately retreated as the Hellions got covered up. Wars is playing this just a little bit more passively than last time. He got really ballsy with his Hellions and had them all cleaned up, and then that made it so that the Widow Mines were pretty much useless. As things are now, that the Widow Mines are actually out there with the Hellions, which means he'll be able to bait in and actually make it so that the Zerglings are chasing the Widow Mines and then retreat very quickly. But no, here comes the Zerglings going for the run by. The wall off was not complete, and it looks like those Zerglings are going to be making their way in, doing some whole position micro, cleaning up several of those SCVs, and finally the Hellions arrive back home. The Widow Mine scurrying around, really not doing much except for draw some aggro from those Zerglings. Not the most successful run by in the world, but definitely equalizing that workers killed tab as well as the units lost tab. Very, very cool there. +1 was definitely started. Is that what he was talking about? Cancel? He wrote cancel, and I didn't read the other one because that Zergling run by was happening. But yeah, I think he must have canceled the +1 armor, because weapons is definitely done, and they were started at the exact same time. We also have combat shields coming up, but that is absolutely terrible, because this was totally going to be a 12-minute timing attack or a 11-minute timing attack, depending on when the combat shields finish. And now this is devastating, because he's not going to be able to actually do that attack to the maximum of his abilities. That +1 armor is absolutely important. So many creep tumors. This is absolutely comical how fast that creep is going to spread. Look at that. Oh my goodness. It is just absolutely booming. Canceled armor. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you, Wars. I appreciate that, but I do not understand this. Why isn't Todes grabbing his 4th here? He's electing to take it way down here, which is absolutely weird. Widow Mines are being used now. They're in the field now. This is something that Todes has to be aware of. Zerglings die incredibly fast. 2 Widow Mines with the centrifugal hooks on the way. Banelings are going to be coming out, which means Marines die incredibly fast to Banelings. So both players are going to be able to devastate the opponent's army very, very quickly. And Wars is being careful, making sure to engage in these more narrow chokes. Otherwise, he'll get surrounded. He just doesn't have enough of a bio ball to actually take care of that. Looks like the Spire is done now. And we have, where did he throw the Spire up? Okay, Spire is done now. It looks like the Mutalisks are coming out right now as the Zerglings wreak havoc at the third. Got to be careful, once again, positioning themselves over that Widow Mine. It is going to recharge in just a handful of seconds, but it looks like the Marines are more than enough of a match against those Zerglings, even though they're at 1-1 and the Marines are just at +1. Nope, 1-1. Yep, looks like that armor's done. 2-2 was on the way, though, for Todes' Zerglings. That Widow Mine's going to be racking up kill after kill, even though the second one is also there. Holy crap. Now the Mutalisks are out. Again, that Spire was just a little bit delayed, but that's okay because Todes was capable of doing some harassment with those Zerglings. It looks like that timing attack that was supposed to happen at about the 11-minute mark is happening now at the 14 or 13:30. Doesn't really matter. Mutalisks are now out. Both players were kind of delayed one way or another, and it looks like Todes has enough Zerglings on the field to only take minimal damage from this. Still no Banelings, which would really help him actually clean this up, but the Mutalisks sweeping in at the same time the Zerglings are sweeping in. And oh my goodness, actually those 2-2 Zerglings just not enough to actually take care of those Marines. It looks like the Stutterset Micro is really going to be doing a number on this third. Holy crap, I could have sworn that there was enough on the field for Todes to actually defend this, but instead he's being forced to retreat, forced to make a bunch of Banelings. He's going to be waiting for them to move into this choke probably. Fortunately for him, he does have a base up here in the hidden kind of bottom left-hand side, which is great, except it's not saturated at all. He does have a queen down there. He will be able to work on that saturation. He's got 4 drones out there now. Oh man, here we go. The Marines are in the choke. The Banelings are coming in, but there's no Zerglings behind those Marines to hold them in place. There goes the split micro. Fantastic Baneling hits from Todes, cleaning that entire aggressive push up. But we have another wave of 5 Marines pushing in, even when supported by 8 medevacs. It's still not going to be enough against all these Zerglings and Mutalisks once they decide to actually get in there and start doing damage. 7 Mutalisks total. This looks intimidating, but there's only a handful of Marines on the field, and with 18 Zerglings on the production tab, it does not look like this push is going to be any more successful than it's already been. I don't think Warriors can actually force himself up into the natural. Remember, though, that Zerg is currently on 2 bases. His third is only mildly saturated. Oh, wow. His third is completely saturated. His third is completely saturated. Still no gas, though. He is up on Hive Tech. Here comes the push, but once again, Banelings are in the air. Will there be a hot poke up? So many Banelings. Holy crap. Look at that Widow Mine hit. Holy crap. Oh man, wArSF with just massive control of his positioning for his Widow Mines, being able to pull back with his Marines, goad all those Banelings into that massive hit. Without the Zerglings to kind of run interference for those Banelings, they just got cleaned up by one massive blow. And now we can see that wArSF is hitting his stride. He's definitely, that was just a massive blow for Todes. I think he's going to have to tap out. Yeah, he's going to have to tap out. Holy crap. That Baneling hit was like, I don't know, a dozen Banelings, and it would have had no issues at all for Todes to clean up all of wArSF's main Marine army right here. And yeah, there was a lot of guys streaming along, but look at this bank. He's got 1,300, 700. If he had managed to actually stunt that aggression, he would have been able to hold, and we would have had a repeat of last game. I mean, he's got Hive on the way. He's got good infrastructure back at home. He just needed to have time to spend that money up, and he had invested so much in those Banelings, did not get the Baneling hit necessary to keep him in the game, and he had to tap out. So that's kind of cool. It shows you that, you know, Todes managed to hold by the skin of his teeth in the second game, but now here we are in the third, and this time wArSF's timed attack actually happened. It shows you how tight and close their skill level actually is in this. That was pretty cool. I'm gonna go eat some aspirin or drink some water or something like that, see if I can get this headache under control. Regardless, I had a great time. It made me feel better. Thanks. Thanks for watching my video. If you have a game you want me to cast, you could PM me here or on Reddit. One way or another, I will see you guys later. I am Ibigandscary. Bye.